Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Advanced Tactics Gold, and I think this is episode 9. I'm ready to begin. Just briefly, we did create 2 more armored divisions out of my main headquarters, and I just bumped them forward along the road. This one will go to blue, this one to red, and they'll be in the battle as early as next turn. Although their readiness will take a little while, it's at 25 to get back up to full. So now let's go right into the bombardment and artillery and all that stuff. I know that I'm going to attack some big hexes here and possibly have some attacks depending on how much damage my artillery and dive bombers do. So I want to weaken this guy up. He has a very significant force. We killed 9 too. Okay, that's good. Lowered his stats a little bit, and let's just follow that up with a dive bomber, because I did notice that there's quite a few armored cars and infantry guns in that hex, and we're killing them. It's good. Wow, lots of death. Good, good. 22, 4, and 1. Excellent. 4 armored cars. I'm never disappointed by 4 more armored cars being destroyed. I'm going to skip both of these hexes because, I mean, I have limited resources, and I think that this hex should be used with artillery. And there's actually quite a lot of armored units a little bit south of this city. How is this land? It's west of Landsberg, and what is this? Leverkusen. So a lot of the armored cars are in these 3 hexes. So I want to save my dive bombers for those hexes then. So I'm not going to use any dive bombers here. I'll just weaken them a little bit. I don't think I'll even be attacking out. I did make another infantry group here as well, so move that. Our 20th machine gun infantry. This is excellent. So that's good, good. I don't think we'll be doing any attacking this turn because their frontline forces are pretty strong, at least in the blue for my western headquarters. But the southwestern, I think I will. Let's finish these off first. I know the greatest infantry numbers are in this group, so I'm going to use artillery on this one. Let's do it. And they have quite a few armored cars and infantry guns here too, which we can. I mean, this is actually just a guess. The artillery doesn't give you any more information. It's not like by bombing somebody you know more about them, but we predict, our current prediction is that they have 5 armored cars and 3 infantry guns. That would change. I mean, that would be more accurate if I did dive bombing, because dive bombing would give you almost perfect information on the hex. Well, presumably it is perfect information, because the recon for a dive bombing hex goes up to massive numbers. Actually, this one only says 375, so yes. We have pretty good recon on these hexes already, which makes sense. I have so many units around, and if they are bigger, it's easier to detect them. Alright, so we have 3 armored cars here, and 5 armored cars. So this has 7 armored cars, this one has 7 armored cars as well, and this one has supposedly 5 armored cars and 3 infantry guns. So I'm kind of counting armored cars and infantry guns equal. That means that this is a stack of 8, stack of 7, and this is a stack of 7 as well, right? That was a stack of 8. So I'm going to dive bomb the hex that I used artillery on. That just makes sense. It seems to be more effective that way. Yeah. I was thinking about maybe using one of the dive bombers from red, but red already has its targets picked out, so let's proceed. You have to make decisions, you know. You can't dive bomb everything. Although we're doing a pretty damn good job of destroying everything. So good, 3 and 3 destroyed. It's good numbers there. Now let's see how they do without the artillery to soften them up first. Still could be pretty effective, and it looks like it is. I mean, mainly against just the armored cars and stuff when you don't precede it with a little bombardment, but that's good. We killed 4 of the armored cars there and caused the other 4 to retreat. So that'll lower this. We can see this. The effectiveness of this hex is down to 60. I'm not too worried about a hex with just 60. I have pretty good defenses. Last one we're going to do is this one right here. So let's bombs away. There are sound effects for this game. I just turned them off because they're super loud, and they don't really add that much. They're just, you know, it's the same sound bit that plays every time. Okay, good. So we killed 5 armored cars, looks like, and a truck. Not that I care about the trucks, but 9 more riflemen fall. And now let's go on to the red. Now I think some interesting stuff is going to happen in the south. I predict that we can attack 2 hexes actually. I'm thinking this hex and this hex. This one's obvious. In fact, if I attack this one, I think I'm going to push the armor through, not with the attack, but have him follow up and attack this guy. So that will be pretty interesting. For the time being, I think I have 4 artillery in the red. This blue will have 4 artillery as soon as this guy catches up, because I stupidly did not strategically transfer him. But with the 4, I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for my 4 hexes of bombardment. I want to kind of support the blue, which is definitely under heavier fire or has greater enemy contact than the south. In fact, the south is kind of peeling back, and it seems like I can push into the bubble that they're leaving. If I wanted to really flat out attack or whatever, I would bombard something down here and then try to break through. But I need more armor forward first. Let's wait for this guy to come forward, so let's think about doing that next turn. For the time being, let's proceed with the bombardment. So I'm just going to grab the artillery and start doing the bombardment I want. So let's soften up these guys. This is actually important if I want to attack this hex. Oh, this is not a hex I want to attack, but still. We want to make sure that there's no counterattack follow-up. This one has so many infantry guns as well as this one. Oh, this one has just armored cars. That I am going to do dive bombing on both of these. So I will follow up immediately with my dive bomber. I have 9 infantry guns here, so hopefully that number is reduced. Reduced by 2. That's not that great. So 3 even weren't forced to retreat. Well, that's less than ideal. That didn't do as much damage as I hoped, but that's fine. I still think that we reduced the readiness. Oh, you can see this hex is a lot lower in its combat strength, which is good. Alright, let's do the same thing here. So I should have... Now the question is, what artillery do we want to use? I think I have... Okay, am I miscounting? I have 1, I have 2, 3, and then 1 in the HQ. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So I want to definitely use my most experienced artillery on these guys because I think I'm going to attack this hex this turn, so let's make sure that we are weakening it up as much as possible. Alright, well that's not bad. Okay, but we'll follow it up with a dive bomb attack. Hopefully that's a little more effective. Let's see. Okay, so they didn't have as many units in there as the map showed. My reconnaissance was a little bit off, but of the... the infantry gun did survive, but... And 2 armor cars... Oh, that really wasn't that effective. Well, we killed 17 rifles. How can I complain about that? One thing I should point out, I did notice this. Let's see, kills? Is it kills? Previous loss. Totals? Totals, here it is. This is insane. So I'm the Sun Empire. These are my kills, all against Österreich. Obviously, China hasn't been involved in any combat. So I've killed 776 rifles. I'm not sure if this number is perfectly accurate or if it's just based on my knowledge, like what I think I killed. And they've killed 15. I mean, just these numbers are staggering. They have incredible losses compared to me, which should kind of point us to the victory, right? We should be moving towards victory, but they have such crazy numbers of forces. Again, cough, cheat. I don't know how they do it, but but it made it more of a challenge, right? So that's exciting. Okay. Now, we could definitely attack that hex now. It's very weak. If you can't see the combat values because it's hidden by these little battle stack indicators, I just look in the bottom here. So we have a 2 on that one and a 16 on that one. So the total combat value we see from this is 25. Well, I typically like to attack with more than 3 to 1, and even just 1 unit would be more than 3 to 1. But we'll do some multiple hex combat action and push those guys back. Alright, so we have more artillery that needs to get going. Now, I want to attack this hex and this hex, I think. So what I think I'll do is, it will require 60 movement for me to get all the way over here. So should I just instead bomb these two hexes? Well, let's move this guy north. I think I'll move him north no matter what, by 1. And then I would like moving him north just because now I can actually see the 5 units that I have in this hex, which is nice. I could see this one, that's why I wasn't going to bombard it. It doesn't have that many riflemen, and I think those are the most susceptible to artillery, so it doesn't seem like there's as much of a point to bomb this hex when I could just bomb these hexes, which have, you know, this one has 60, so at least twice the number of infantry. And this one has 50, so, you know, again, about twice the number of infantry. The main problem with this guy is that he has those 3 infantry guns which are at full strength and they could do something. That's why I wanted to bombard it. And this guy, is there a good reason? So there's infantry gun here as well. Okay, I think what I'll do is I will create a new unit here. I'm going to separate the artillery I have in here. So let's make them their own unit. Artillery, horses, good, go. And let's get to those guys. There they are. Alright, now if we move here, I can't do any bombardment at all. In fact, even moving here, they're only going to have 40 left. So, I guess what I'll have to do is this other artillery, I'll move him forward here. He will have 40 left, and we'll do the bombardment as I originally thought. Although the 4 rounds is not going to be as much. Yes, attack? Wait, can I not attack? Okay, there. Only 4 rounds, so it really won't be as effective, but okay, yeah, very, very little done, but that's fine. That's where I wanted to do my artillery attack, so that's what I did. And we'll do the same thing here, another light bombardment, because we were moving our artillery around. And just in case you're thinking in your head, why are his artillery right on the front lines? It's not a good idea. It's kind of, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm just throwing everything into one solid wall. And if any of these lines were broken, I might lose a lot of artillery, or like here I have my staff units right in the front. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm just like, when I see this many units against me, my idea is like all or nothing. Let's just defend or die trying. So, okay, I think that's all that we want to do for this turn as far as artillery and dive bombing, so let's get to the actual combat. I'm going to attack this hex, and I think I'm going to do it... What was I going to do? Move this unit south? Is that what I wanted to do? So I think I want to move this. I don't want to attack with any of the units that I have in here because, yeah, their readiness is pretty low, the 50 rifles and machine guns in here, because I could create a new infantry group out of this guy. And in fact, I should, but I'm going to move this armor south so that I can attack this hex from this infantry and this armor from 2 different hex, which will just give me that 5% bonus. Nothing like to write home about, but it's minor, but it's still something. So let's take advantage of something. Alright, good. So let's attack with this guy, and we can see that it's 25 to, 200 and something to 25, so that's about 10 to 1. I'm not going to complain about that. Let's see how we do. Oh, we took quite a few losses, oh my gosh, but we did kill quite a few as well. So we took 7 losses, but we killed 50, well, no, we killed 37, which includes an armor car and an infantry gun, which is good. Did take pretty much heavier losses than I was expecting. In fact, I am going to move this guy forward because I do want to actually pursue the attack again. These guys are so weak now when they come off of an attack they lost that it's just worth it, I think, to do a follow-up attack. I won't push into that hex, but you'll see what I mean. Can this guy also attack? He cannot. So there's no point in moving him in then. So let's just do the attack from here. Follow up. And immediately you can just see they're just crushed. I lost a machine gun, but they lost 16 more rifles and an armored car. And 6 of the rifles escaped. So that's why the follow-up attack is really, really worthwhile. Good. I'm not going to do anything though. I'm not going to move into that hex because I can't do another follow-up attack, which would probably just eradicate all of these forces. Not that there's much left here anyways, like 6 rifles, you know. Okay, so that's that. Now, do I consider this unit exposed enough that I want to move support in? I mean, I do have this new unit that I wanted to make with infantry. Gosh. So HQ, and now I want to transfer from that HQ to the blank. Okay, good. Let's do another machine gun infantry. Yeah, let's just make that guy. Oh, it says I had the machine gun forward, but it's not true. Okay, let's make this guy machine gun infantry. If you select an, headquarters, it chooses the model for headquarter units, which I have none. I don't have any specific. Oh, whoops. Where are you? There you are. I don't have any specific model for my headquarters. I don't even know what the advantage of doing that is. So, all right, good. So we have our line is still a little bulge right here, and that could set us up for some interesting attacks in the future with 3 hexes on this guy or 3 hexes on this guy. Probably the obvious choice between those is this guy who's weakened. All right, the next thing I want to do is another attack with these 2 infantry on this guy. It's going to be, I mean, this is absurd, way overkill, but that's fine. We need to do it, right? So we didn't take any losses, and they lost 9. 2 retreated. That's fine. The funny thing is, we're not going to move in with any of those forces. Or do I want to move in? I think I need to protect. Actually, this is interesting. If I move this infantry in, he can attack again. That might be worthwhile. Do I want to try to attack these guys? Which I think I could do. And this guy could move north and attack him from the other side. Wow. Interesting. Can this guy, who else can attack? Who else can join? Alright. The interesting thing I saw here is that this guy can not only attack from here, he could also attack from here. Now, you'd think that just having 3 hexes would be the same, but this is actually interesting. In fact, I'll do this just to show you. I'm not sure if it's the best decision for me to attack this hex, but I'm going to do it just so we can see something. If I move here, and now I attack this hex, we'll see that I do gain this up from 5% bonus. I get this 20%, and my attack stack is at 150. But let's see what happens if I move my armor 1 further. This is part experiment for me. I'm not 100% sure that. I think the bonus will go up, though. That's my prediction. So let's attack now again, using the same 3. Oh, this guy. Okay, yeah, so it went up from 20 to 30. So you can see that even though I'm just attacking from 3 hexes, if you're attacking on opposite sides, it actually takes into account the places you're attacking from. So because these units are far away, I'm getting more of an encirclement bonus, which is good. So let's attack. I'm thinking that this is enough. We have a small attack stack penalty, but that's fine. Alright, this was a very good decision. Holy cow. 58 rifles dead, 5 trucks, 1 submachine gun, and 6 infantry guns, all destroyed for the cost of 2 rifles and 2 machine guns. And those are the kind of casualties, those are the kind of reports I will take any day. Goodness, that was fantastic. And there's no point in leaving this guy back at this point, so let's push him forward, and now we have a new line. So we're actually pushing out of Kronak and starting to make some ground. Now I don't want to leave my engineer and artillery unit exposed, so what I'm going to do is actually move these guys into support. I'm not worried about them trying to hook around. They can try to do that. I think if they do that, I would just cut them off. Okay, one other thing I noticed is that my oil, despite the fact that I've been proclaiming since the beginning of this game that oil is not a problem, I'm actually having some oil problems. So my oil was up to, I think, 20,000, and with all my work, I'm actually losing. So I did move this engineer from here down. He's going towards that oil. I'm moving this engineer down towards that oil. And I'm also going to move this engineer back towards this oil. I'm going to upgrade all 3 of those. And that'll increase, each one oil 1 gives you 250, but an oil level 2 gives you 1,000. So with having 3 more oils upgraded, I don't think that there'd be any problem with my oil situation. I'm not even that concerned. I feel okay getting back there. I should have enough time to increase those. Okay, but that is all that I wanted to do for this turn. So let's go ahead and end the turn and proceed to the next one. But that was a pretty good turn. We got a good amount of combat in, and We'll have to see how the Germans react to this. Oh, wow. So they attacked. Oh, good. I had reinforced that unit up there. We lost, though. Okay, is there any other attacks? I didn't see any. So it was a pretty even battle up in the north. We lost 23, I guess submachine guns probably, and they lost 24. But despite that, they still succeeded in the attack, which makes sense because I have my units most of the time. I never explained this mechanic, I don't think, but I have my units at 50% loss, which is when you want them to retreat. Now, yeah, we did lose some machine guns though. I'm kind of surprised that we lost so badly though. But that does kind of open us up to the possibility of counterattacks. But the north is not about counterattacking, it's mainly about holding the line. I could, although it does seem like an obvious counterattack would be this guy. Low readiness, and yeah, we probably will counterattack that guy. So this guy is full. Let's transfer some machine guns to this submachine gun group because we have a little bit more than our 40-20 combination that I prefer. This guy now, make him machine gun infantry, and now this is just plain, so submachine guns will actually have a penalty fighting here. But cavalry is actually good on the attack. I never showed this. I don't use cavalry for anything really, but their attack value is 65 versus 26. So their defense strength is the same as normal infantry, but their attack value is much, much higher. So we could attack in with both of these units, and I don't really care about losing the cavalry. So let's just go ahead and do it. Let's attack like this. And that would this put us over? Yeah, so attacking with the other submachine guns would put us over the attack stack, but it wouldn't give us any other bonus, so I'm just going to leave those submachine guns there. We'll push them into the forest if I can ever get back. Alright, let's attack. So we lost one machine gun, but good, we killed some significant things. Rifle, truck, infantry gun. I'm not even sure I'm going to follow up. I think I might even just stay put. The only person who would follow up is if I could... No, I can't get down there and attack. Because then that would put us back into forest, which is actually kind of what I want, but that's fine. Alright, so let's abandon the north for a little bit, because it's not that important what's going on up there. And let's see what we're going to do in the south. Okay, so we want to attack this hex for sure with artillery, which is just screaming for both artillery and dive bombing. And we'll probably want to do that with not this guy who doesn't have enough action points for a complete bombardment. In fact, we might want to break open here. I know I'm at 22 minutes, so I'm going to call this to a close pretty quick. But we could really punch through the lines in both these places. If I chose to use artillery here and here, I could punch through. And then what I like about this unit, for example, is the readiness is really low on this armed car, supposedly. I mean, we'll have better reconnaissance. We don't have very good reconnaissance right now, but we'll have better reconnaissance if we actually punch through over there. If I'm able to break through this unit, I can follow-up attack on this one, and since the readiness is really low, I can possibly kill an armored car for cheap. It's like fighting 1/4 of an armored car, but it still costs a full armored car to produce, so it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile if you can pick off those low readiness units, which is why I'm doing these follow-up attacks. And this, for example, let's see, 50, 37, 26, 25. So these guys are really low readiness. It's an obvious choice for an attack because you'll inflict a lot of casualties on units that are not combat ready. Okay, then let's see. Alright, well, this is an obvious. Infantry guns, 6. Okay, this is the one's going to get the full treatment. That's going to get the full treatment. Oh, they did do a surround here, but they left this unit. It's incredibly weak. Interesting. So maybe we'll do artillery. Oh, this is very interesting. I wonder what the best situation... I want to do artillery here, but is the best thing to do artillery here then, or perhaps here? Because I could actually... Oh, I think I know what I'll do. I'll just attack this unit, push the armor there, and then I'll cut these guys off. Yeah, I think that's the best decision. And I think if they're cut off like this, if you attack and defeat them, they actually are completely wiped out. So we're definitely going to do that. Now I don't need to attack this with anything first, so let's just go ahead and let's attack with everything. Small attack stack penalty, but I just want to wipe these guys out, so it's worth it just to go in with everything. Wow, they... Holy cow. For just those 2 units, I took, was it 6 rifles and 2, oh wow, that's war, I guess. Sometimes you make a costly attack, but that's, well, I needed to do that. So let's move this guy in now. And we're going to do another attack on this guy. I don't care if this guy gets pushed back if he's counterattacked in the next turn. That's fine with me. I just want to make sure that I eliminate this unit. So the question is, do I use my artillery? I think I have to use my artillery on this one. It's such a big unit. I definitely have to use artillery here. I think I'll just dive bomb this guy. Okay, so I'm going to use artillery and dive bomb here. So let's just go ahead and use the artillery that I have available to me. That's a massive, massive stack. Well, we're doing some good damage though, at least. 14 killed. That's more than I usually get from my artillery. And the quick follow-up. Yeah, let's do this guy. Alright. This is good. This is good. I've got a sirens going on in the background. 8 armored cars. Goodness, that's a lot. Okay, that's really good. Better than I was expecting. And I think I'm going to use my artillery on this guy and just go in for a costly attack. Can all these guys attack him? Yeah, so I'll just do a really costly 3-way attack on this guy. So I'll use my artillery here to kind of prevent... Okay, there's 94 and 68 here. 160. And there's less here. Gosh, this is a tough decision. I don't know which one to use my artillery against, or even the one that I want to attack next, which seems like the most obvious choice. Weaken up a unit before you attack it. Although, if I just left them there, they'd even just fall out of supply, and they'll lose readiness. But they're probably carrying with them a few turns of supply, so... and they might relink by attacking my position, and then reconnecting. So I think let's take advantage of the situation we have by attacking the unit we want to kill with artillery, and then just doing a follow-up attack with it. And that was very effective. 11 killed, lowered the readiness down to 25. So that should be an easy kill now. We just follow up and attack. And let's just do 2 units because I want to lower my attack stack penalty as much as possible. I'm guessing that's the reason why I lost so many units that last time. Okay, good. So all of them are casualties because there's nowhere for them to retreat. Yes, technically they could retreat to here, sorry, but I think that if it doesn't count as part of your supply line, you just disappear. So, all right, nobody's moving forward. These guys took some pretty substantial casualties this turn, 9 rifles and 2 machine gun. But that's fine. They live to fight another day, and they're more experienced for it. All right, so now we have, where else are our armored cars? Not that many places, so where would we like to use our artillery? We can actually get these guys up here. And that's close enough for them to do some bombardment. I think we'll bombard and follow up with an attack here. A dive bomb, I mean. Just about at my limit for this video, so we'll probably just finish these bombardments and then I'll figure out what attacks I actually want to do in the next episode. Alright, but we did a lot in this episode, I feel. We're beginning our offensive. Actually starting to push back in the south. Good, killed some more armored cars. And the last artillery bombardment, I feel it should be here. This is definitely one for dive bombers. Is there any of these an obvious target? So infantry gun at readiness. Let's do this for a dive bomb up top. That'll kind of help against the, I'm presuming, against the counterattack. Assuming that they do make one. That was good. That was very effective. So I lowered that a bit. Now these guys are done, but this I mean, let's see. We could do an artillery and dive bomb follow-up. We have one more of each. So I think I'll do it here. Lots of death in this episode. I mean, that number, when I looked at the total, the losses count, it kind of blew me away. It's really impressive that there's that many. I've killed that many units, you know? Wow. Okay, let's do our dive bomb here, because spread the love along all parts of the front. And we've already killed 4. Good. Excellent. And actually did some really good damage there. 14 rifles killed as well. It doesn't lower their readiness so much, but it does seem to either kill them or not, which, yeah, in some ways I prefer that. Just kill them. Get them out of here. Alright, so I'm actually going to even hold off on the red on my southwestern HQ until next episode. And we'll pick up with trying to get into our offensive here. Get the offensive gears turning. And that's, let's see, that's... Okay, well that's it for this episode. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.